Right. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? How is it all going? Hope you guys are having a very fruitful and eventful week. Oh, 8:05. Oh, okay. Yes, good evening. Where's my other device? Hmm. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Thanks for joining in. Oh, give me 1 second. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Welcome. Thanks for joining in. Welcome. Welcome. Mm. Welcome. Welcome. Please give me 1 minute. No, I can name got me. You guys to be. Welcome. Please like and share and let us invite our friends to join us. Mm. Share. Báwo ni wọ́n ti máa ń sọ yẹn náà? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining in. This is Chatroom with the King, and my name is Victor King, and I'm privileged to be your host. Thanks for joining in today. Shout out to all our YouTube audience and each and every one of you who have been joining us in every of our episode. This is Chatroom with the King, and I'm privileged to be your host. Welcome to Yowulewa. Welcome Adirunke Oluwaseyi. Welcome Olayinka Bolington from YouTube. You have been our number one YouTube audience from day one. And I just want to know that I appreciate you, Olayinka. I see all your views and all your comments from YouTube. Thank you. TVD, DTV, I can't even pronounce that, but thank you for joining in. Jimo Adebayo, Adeola, Oladuni, thanks for joining in. And each and every one of you, the few that I can mention. Thank you. Thank you. Right. As I join in, you can please click the share button and invite your friends so that we can all have a good time. Oluwadara, thank you. I hope you guys can actually hear me audibly. Can you guys hear me? Please drop a comment. Let me be sure that everybody can actually hear me. Obiago. Kedu. How are you doing? Hope you guys can hear me, audibly. Okay, YouTube said they can hear me. Facebook. Okay, you can hear me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. But it was very necessary. I know you are not now. Because who was him then was the best service in your All right, I have a little bit cracking voice. That's why I want to be sure that you guys can hear me very well. I've been doing a lot of talking lately, like non-stop. I've had a whole stretch hours of talk, so my voice is a little bit muffled up. Right, today we are going to start our April. Sorry, we're going to start our May series, which I think some of you must have seen somewhere. Oh wow, some people must have seen. And no, Wagwan, something. We've made a little bit. I've done pretty little publicity on that. But the whole of May, we are going to be talking about a topic that is very crucial to, I believe to so many people. And that is the subject of moving on and second chances. I have realized that so many times I've seen so many people, which I have practical examples of even that I can, that is relatable. As a matter of fact, some people have even been coming to the conclusion or having the ideation that even me myself is a victim of this because, but I don't think so. What's up, Fires Brown? No happy. I will report Fires Brown to you people very soon. Fires Brown is a bully and she's harassing me. But me, it's in the address. But my address very soon. I want a bully. Our topic today is love gone lost. So why are you asking? You see, I realize that over time, so many people, love is a beautiful thing, no doubt. Talk now, talk make you collect. You talk, you collect what to. Love is a beautiful thing, no doubt. And marriage is amazing. I don't care what stand you have. I don't care what your experiences are. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care where life has pushed you. You don't let your ugly experiences, contaminate the values and the beauty of life or intrude your sense of reasoning and sense of judgment. beyond doubt, need no argument. Marriage is not only beautiful, it's not only sweet, it takes a significant importance in how your life will move forward. In fact, it takes a significant role in how far you will go in life. That does not necessarily mean that you cannot succeed if you are not married. That does not necessarily mean that you cannot do well by yourself. But it means that you will have less burden to bear. And 9 out of 10 times, and most likely, you will travel faster. Hear me. A Toyota is a good car. For instance, give me all those Nigerian cars. Camry. Abi Sienna. A Toyota Camry is a good car. Any place where that is a road traveling distance, a Toyota will get there. Right? But a Lamborghini is a better car. Tolu, how are you doing? Kehinde Babid, welcome. Do you understand what I'm saying? A Toyota is a good car. It will get to anywhere that as long as there is a road. But Lamborghini is a better car and is a faster car. So if you drive in a Toyota, you will get to where you are going. Eventually. But if you drive a Lambo, ultimately you will get to where you are going faster. If you are going to the same destination, you will get there faster. And you will get there in more comfort, in one piece. You will get there without having to use Alabukun and Panadol Extra. Are you with me? If you are with me, say amen. Amen again. Please follow me. So, being, whether you're single, whether you're divorced, or you're separated, does not mean that your life aspiration will not be achieved. But it does not validate the fact that marriage is not necessary. No, yes, it is. Definitely, yes, it is. It is necessary. It is essential. It takes a significant role. So, irrespective of where life has thrown you, we no doubt know that marriage is very sweet. Not only sweet, it's very good. Not only good, it's very honorable. Not only honorable. A lady told me that what she hates about being single or being separated is that how people relate with her. She was trying to get a babysitter, and every time she interviewed a babysitter, they come in for interview. Some of them are even bold enough to ask her. It is necessary, yeah, it is necessary, but it is not compulsory. If you're listening to me, that's what I said. You don't have to. It doesn't mean you can't be or succeed or survive by yourself, but it is essential to life. It just makes life easy. You understand? Now, so this lady said, people come into our house to interview, to pick up a job of a cedar. And some of them even have a boldness to even ask, where's the dad? Where's your husband? And once they say the dad is not here, I don't have a husband, their disposition towards her changes. In our own house, immediately the respect goes down. Because they just feel like there's no show. She has dealt with so many cedar that just talk a manner of foolishness and have so many behaviors. And she feel like it is traceable to the fact that they know that there's no man in the house. And that just got out a little bit worked out. Like worked out. And she said, once they know that you don't have a man in the house, they just do foolishness. Handyman will come to fix something in the house, and they just do what they like, how they like, because they just feel like it's just woman. It's just like you as a woman going to a mechanic, you know how they treat you. And, you know, stuff like that. So she feel like as a single mother, you seems to, you know, command less respect in the society because it just feel like you by yourself. And those are part of things that you see. And ditto to a man. It has nothing to do with women now. I can tell you that for sure. My mother called me sometime last year and she was trying to talk me to, you know, settling down and getting married again and all that. First of all, I don't know where she got it from that I don't want to be. I don't know where she got that from. And she was trying to persuade me and, you know, encourage me. And she said, oh, Mokwebushi, why at your age, especially with what you do, you have so many people that look up to you and all that. Say, if you are not married, people will not respect you. And I said, why? Because I'm not married? And she tried to explain. Did I get what she was saying? Yeah. But I just don't want to admit it. I've seen people look at me some kind of way. I've seen people talk to me directly and they, so you know, some people are very disrespectful. And they say some things that are vague. Somebody that is not even that close to me, that is not even my friend, said to me one time, I don't know what we're talking about. That has nothing to do with marriage. That has nothing to do with home. That has nothing to do. And he goes, to be bad, how? What's the relationship? People just look for every opportunity to throw words at you. If you are in that shoe, you know what I'm talking about. So not only that it is sweet, it is good. Not only that it's good, it is essential. Not only that it is essential, it gives you more speed, more stability, more, you know, sense of direction. But as good as it is, as beautiful as marriage is, as good as love is, I'm talking about love gone lost, but I want to focus more in the context of marriage. That's why I'm using marriage. But generally, I'm going to fizzle out a little bit and fizzle in. I know, right? I'll be fizzling out and be fizzling in, you know, into dating and relationship, but I want to focus more on the subject of marriage. You know, the motivation for this is, you know, things are happening lately, a lot of uprisings and a lot of, you know, crashing and a lot of abusive and offensive and suicidal marriage. And we just need to enlighten ourselves and look into the details of certain things. Where do you draw the line? If you draw the line, what do you do from there? How do you move? So I'm going to narrow down these things because we're going to break it into, we have about 5 weeks this month, and hopefully we'll be able to get into the nitty-gritty of all of this. Now, as much as marriage is essential and love is sweet, of course, even if you are that bitter to not to admit that if you're that bitter not to admit that marriage is necessary and it is good and it is important, at least you will admit that love is sweet. One time or the other in your life, you've been in love and you were Juliet or you are Romeo, and before it got sour. As sweet and as beautiful as love is, according to the bunch, don't get it twisted, love is a beautiful thing. It is that same thing that can make you, can mar you. Where's that shouting from? I've been looking for that one. I can't find it. That same beautiful thing that can make your life better and give your life color and give your life beauty, that same thing can make you and mar you. So the whole essence of this series is we are not talking about why do people fall out of love. We're talking about when you are falling out of love, at the point where, oh, this love is what you cherish, this relationship you cherish this one, this love is good, but for some reason or the other, you fall out of love. Now, if you are in a relationship, you fall out of love, you freaking walk away. So that's why we're not talking about relationship at all. If you are in a relationship and you are in love and you fall out of love, there is no obligation. You have not invested anything. You do what? Walk away. If you fall out of love and you are still staying in the relationship, it is a problem. By the time you get unfortunate in life, that's your cup of tea. So it's not even a problem. It's not even a talk. It's not even a discussion at all. If you fall out of love in a relationship, walk away. And you did not walk away, that's a business. But it becomes more complicated when marital vow has been committed, or children are involved, or you married, or you engaged, or you date that, or you have kids together. Oh, this beautiful love story is becoming a bitter experience. There's so many reasons why love can go sour. There's so many reasons why love can be lost. But when love is lost, when love is gone lost, at the point where, for whatever reason, the same thing that I look forward to that makes me smile is now making me cry. This same thing that gladdens my heart is now giving me high blood pressure. This same thing that I used to cherish and adore has become something that I do everything to avoid. This same partner that is the reason for my happiness is now the reason for my stress. Matter of fact, the only stress that I have. The same reason that I was celebrated and people, want to be like me and they want to emulate me is become the reason why I'm becoming an object of ridicule in the society. This same reason, the same person, the same love that I was proud of and I can't wait to share with people. I tell my friend of, I'm so proud of it. It's not bringing me shame and ridicule. What do I do from here? What do I do from here? Where do I go from here? So many people are stuck in their mysteries. Ó ti wá di ọba rán ni níṣẹ́. Iṣẹ́ ọba ò ṣe é kọ̀, odò ọba ò ṣe é lọ. At the point where love is lost, where everything has become toxic, painful, insulting, provoking, do I live with it? Do I live it with it? Do I walk away from it? If I walk away, where am I walking to? What does the future hold for me? What do I do from here? These are the questions in the mind of so many people in toxic relationship today. Not because they still enjoy it, not because they think it's going to get better, but because they don't know where to pick the piece of their life. Some people have not only invested their time, their resources, their energy, they've invested their life. Let's start by asking a very salient question that we can open our thoughts. By the way, if you look at the bottom corner of your screen, you will see a star icon there. For a very long time, we monetized since like middle of last year. They give us all the monetization tools and all the monetization, every that one, in-stream ad and all of that. But for some reason, Facebook never gave us stars. I did everything, I worked out everything. They refused to give me stars. This morning I woke up and they said, you are eligible for stars. So now we do have it. So be gracious enough, at will, hear me, at will, at every point in time that you feel, see, whether you like it or not. I'm not even speaking for myself. I don't know. That's why I always look at those people who do like 3-4 shows in a day. I'm like, how are they doing it? How? This thing is consuming. And I'm not being cocky about this, but we don't even do shows like most of the speakers. We use more, like for instance, the platform that I stream for. I'm not on Facebook right now. You are the one that is on Facebook. I'm not. You can't stream like this on Facebook. We are using a third-party platform called StreamYard to stream all of this. That's why we can stream to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you watch on YouTube, on Twitter, you are going to see the same thing at the same resolution. And we're trying to make it better than this, so that we can have more of high-definition pictures. But these things, because you don't want to see how many things that is right behind this screen. The tripod, the screens, the lightnings, and all of that. The platform alone cost about, I think about $40 a month for subscription. For me to be sitting here and still using my 2-3 hours of my life. The best you get, because I don't know what quite alright. Yeah, Google don't want but the best you can do is to, your only two-way, give support, and Facebook makes it easy for you to send stars and be a subscriber. So right now, you can support us. You don't have to, so that nobody will say, I gave Victor King money and be printing statement of account. I'll come and book it, they say me. It will not work. Now you don't have to call me for my account number. You can send stars and we'll get it. At the same time, there's a blue badge at the bottom that says subscriber. If you click on it, it's take you to a page that's signing up as a subscriber. If you sign up as a subscriber, it's not a one-off thing. It's a subscription. They're going to charge you every month. I think they're going to charge you $10 a month to be a subscriber. How do you want to give me your stars? In cash or in kind? So you can subscribe today. Click the green button. It's like the color of my dress here. Once you click it, it takes you to a page where you sign, you fill up certain details and put your payment information. It charge you $10 a month to be a subscriber. That we have your support. And if you don't want to do like, because subscription is like, it's going to keep charging you every month. Put that in mind. Other than that, you want to do a one-off thing, you can just click and send us stars at every point. So I love my picking, not be for mouth. Oh, you are doing well. In fact, I love your show. In fact, you touched me. I was out over this weekend, the whole weekend, last weekend, I was out and about. And I meet so many people, and I want to appreciate every one of you that I get to meet in person last weekend. I met so many of my hard fans, and it was a warm moment, Oh, you changed my perception. Oh, there was a time that I even called you, and you told me that it really helped me. Don't be for mouths. Send stars. Subscribe. You got me? You get it? If you don't get it, still don't forget about it. All right. Well, thank you, Ademola Big Yazad. Thank you. Unfortunately, I'm not on Facebook, so okay, then maybe let me go to Facebook from here. So I'll be seeing it. Edin John John. Àbúrúkọ kórúkọ wò lélẹ́yìn lóhùn jẹ́. Edija na John. Ẹlẹ́nu Ṣípòtì, how you dey? Olórúkọ bíi ní Kabudesari. Ademola, yeah, I see that. Thank you very much. Ah. Oh, wow. You are doing very well. Ah. Tolulope Akinyemi, thank you. Tola Lola, thank you. Ademola Obigi, thank you. Testimony, thank you. Tolulope Akinyemi, thank you. Fumi FSG, thank you. You guys are doing well. You are doing well. No, and I can see it from Facebook. I just log into Facebook because I can't see it from here. Right, so let's begin our thought by asking a leading question. Like I said, this is a chat room, okay? So it's not just a speech. You're not just listening. You have to participate. That's why we're different. Can people be in a healthy, peaceful marriage? Let me rephrase this. Can a married couple, or even if you are not married, some of you did not marry, people who live together, who are in a relationship, who have things together, can a couple lost love and still have a healthy marriage, have a healthy relationship? Is it possible? For people who are married and who live together, they live together. Possibly, can a couple who are still active couple live together possibly lost love? Can they still have an healthy relationship? Can they still have a functional relationship? Is it possible for you to fall out of love and still have a healthy and formidable marriage? Is it possible? Do you think it's possible for you to fall out of love and still be in a functional marriage? LOSL is very possible. Okay, let me change. So at any point during this conversation, you can call in. The number to call in is on the screen. You can call in on WhatsApp or you can dial us on a regular call. LOL said, yes, sir, very possible. For a couple to fall out of love, but their marriage is still intact. Wow. Someone said it's possible. It can be possible, however, majority of the time, something significant have to bind them. Like what? Like what? Something significant like what? Now, please listen to my question very well. I'm not saying can they fall out of love and still be married. That's not the question. I didn't say can they fall out of love and still be married. I say can they fall out of love and still have a functional relationship? Functional relationship. Everything remains the same. Everything is fine. They still run the home. But they fall out of love. Is it possible? Okay, testimony Nigeria 4 said it's possible. Fire said it's possible, he said the kids can bring them invest. Okay, now you get what I'm saying. He said functional, Fire said functional, no. Okay, now you're getting to where I'm going. LOS said, yes, I'm in it now, sir. Tolulokwe said, yes, they can be functional. Maybe we need to define what functional marriage is. Oluseyi Olusoya. Hey, how are you doing, man? Said, absolutely, yes, I'm a living witness. Wow. Wow. I don't know how that works, but since majority of you said it is possible, maybe somebody can be gracious enough to share with us. The number to call is on the screen. I don't know how that can work. Or maybe we need to define the terms functional marriage. What drives them must be really strong. Fola Shade said, nope, they cannot have a functional relationship. They cannot be on the same page, even with the kids being involved. They probably yeah, I think I can really better. They cannot have a functional relationship. They cannot be on the same page, even with the kids involved. They would probably do co-parenting for the sake of the kids. Yes, they can co-parent. They can exist. But I don't think they can have a functional marriage. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not ruling it out. Mature-minded people. Okay. Okay. I think as lover shouldn't be the reason of marriage because love will fade. Best friends is the best way to get that. The number is on the screen, man. Right on top on your screen. Right on, it should be on the right. Yep. Right there on the right bottom. +1 202 297 3054. Somebody said to me, the feelings will be scary. Boundaries. Maybe you should define functional for us. Thank you. Now, for me, let me shed a little bit light into what I consider as a functional marriage. A functional marriage, what it means is that your marriage is still running as though you are in love and you are not. When you are full out of love, that's functional marriage. You guys still talk to each other. You still do everything in common. You still, you still sleep together. You still have sex. That's a functional marriage. You fall out of love, but you are still knocking each other. You still have sex. You still, so there are so many people who have fallen out of love and they still have like 2 kids after them. They don't love their partner. They are just committing to the marriage commitment. Maybe somebody is here. Some of you are probably listening to me now. You are finding it difficult to convince yourself, but you know in your heart that you are falling out of love. It doesn't mean having sex, it could matter now. Having sex doesn't mean you are in love. Yeah, I get that. People sleep with prostitutes. I mean, sex does not imply love. Quite all right. But we're talking in the context of marriage now. So when you say marriage is functional, that means every element of marriage is there. The romance is there, obligations are there, financial responsibility is there, the wife is playing of a wife, the husband is playing the role of a husband. simple language to use is, I don't send the person. You ignore the person's behavior for the sake of the major things that binds you. Well, as much as I agree with you, then that becomes non-functional. Because I don't think you can ignore the behavior of somebody because in marriage you are partners. Are you feeling me? You partners. Have you had a horrible co-worker before? You don't like them, but you still have to work with them. You know how that feels? It's stressful. It makes work hard for you. You can't wait to go home and you can't wait to clock out and go home. Now, if you are going to be in that kind of space in marriage, where you spend more time of your life for the rest of your life, for the rest of your life, how do you deal in that space? Because I've had this conversation over time, and I have asked a couple of people questions about this. Can you have necessarily fall out of love and still have a functional marriage? Now, I acknowledge the fact, and I've seen a couple of it. People falling out of love and the marriage still exists and they still do what they need to do. Now, let's, for the purpose of this discussion, partially agree that it is possible. It is possible to be married and to have fallen out of love and still, thank you for me. Let's, for the purpose of this, believe that some people have a magical way of doing it, of falling out of love and still have a functional marriage. You understand? Let's consider it to be true. But then, a couple of people said they've been in it. I would have loved to ask you, how does that feel though? Because I believe it will be the most strenuous thing on earth when you have co-worker that you're not working and you are not getting along. Okay, well, you are a living proof. I'm sorry about that, but I would have. I'm really curious to know, how does that feel? I feel, because you see, if you have a horrible coworker, you can change units, you can report the coworker, you can avoid the person. But you have a cantankerous spouse, somebody that you cannot work with, somebody that you fall out of love with. Because see, it's like ask this question is like saying, can you drive a car without fuel? Because love is the fuel that make marriage function, that make marriage run. I believe very much that it becomes stressful. I believe strongly that it will become the most stressful, strenuous thing. And this is the reason why so many people's lives are shorting. So many people are living with terminal diseases. So many people becomes older than they actually are. So many people's character have been messed up. You used to be a very nice, approachable, loving person before. Now, because see, you wake up in the house unhappy, you are going to be a horrible worker. You're going to be a horrible co-worker at work. Now you are struggling to deal with. Everybody complains about your behavior. Your tolerance has gone from 10 to 0. Because I don't understand how you wake up beside a man that you fall out of love with. The most terrible thing to feel in life The most terrible thing to feel in life, the most terrible way to live in life is to wake up beside a partner that you are not in love with. And so many people are in this situation right now. You have stepped out of the place of love, but right now, you have to do what you have to do. That's what you are doing. You know what that means? You have to do what you have to do. It's not easy, but it is doable, because what matters most is your happiness and your children's happiness. You must get your priorities right. I don't get that. It is doable because what matters most is your happiness. It is not easy, but it's doable. But if your happiness matters most, then it is not doable. Because if you want to put your happiness as a priority, I don't think you want to stay in a marriage that you're falling out of love from. Then you are jeopardizing your happiness. If purpose of marriage is not fulfilled, the marriage is not functional. Thank you. It takes a strong person and determined person to go that path. I have worked with someone peacefully, knowing fully well we cannot even stand each other, but because professionalism binds us together, we are fine. People say we're crazy. Yeah, it's doable at work. So put that picture as a spouse. Imagine you living with that person. I have a couple that I know very well. It's my friend, two of them. And every day I tell them, I say, eventually one will kill the other between the two of you. They are dating, they are not even married. But them, these people are toxic. They will not only fight each other, they have caused each other so much. Caused each other so many pain and heartache and crime, and everybody that knows them just say, you guys should just leave each other alone. But for some reason, they will stress all of you out. Well, they just will. They just by the time you call 2-3 days later, they are together. They will fight and fight and fight and fight. Check again, they are together. If I see their call right, I'm like, you just F off. Like, I don't want to talk to both of you. Because forget whatever they say to you. The guy will cause the girl out, says, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. This. The girl will say, I'm tired of him. I tell him to go away. I don't want to know. Ma for ma Darela, ma so in bush. Wọ́n máa wà padà rí wọn lórí bed ara wọn 2 days. In fact, only that same evening. They've done one before that. I was there talking, talk. Check on the say, are you okay in the evening? They are together on the bed. I have been with my children for 18 good years, but I make sure that there's mutual relationship between the family. I think it mainly depends on the woman. Ma, being with the kids in the same house with their father, we're not talking about the kids having a relationship with their father, in a separate location. We are saying a marriage that still exists, functional marriage. Maybe I'm the one that is interpreting you wrongly. We always talk because of the kids we stay in marriage. I disagree with that, because if anything happens, the kids will leave. Let's focus on ourselves more. Our happiness is the most opinion. Still in it because my partner don't want to let go of the relationship though. When we made up, we are good, and so it's good. Is that so that keeps me going. I know it's crazy, Sha. You lost me a little bit somewhere in your write up. When we made up, we are good. We let go of the relationship though. When we made up, we are good. And so it's good. It's that so that is so is good at it or something. So that keeps me going. Well, I don't know if that is a woman or a man, but if you have the strength to carry and your interest and your happiness is not jeopardized, I don't even encourage a broken marriage personally. If you can still manage around it, just as long as you're not trading your happiness for it. If you are still happy. I'm going somewhere, I'm going to ask another question. The religious mind among you might not find this very funny. I might not like it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How many of you are aware, or we admit, most likely some of you are even on this table, but let's not indict persons. But how many people here on this show are aware that there are so many married people, either a married woman or a married man, who have lost love, but are bounded by maybe culture or religion? They don't want to leave the marriage. They keep the marriage, but they have find happiness and fulfillment elsewhere. But their marriage still exists. Because I have one more question. How many of you are aware that that is possible and that is doable? I know none of you will say, I am doing that. It's okay. We don't want to hinder the person. Oh, somebody said that happens all the time. In every marriage, there is always a time devil might tell you are in the wrong marriage. Plenty of cohabitation. There are so many people who are still married, but they have lost love. And they still keep the marriage. So they are just cohabiting together. And either of the party or both of the party find happiness outside the marriage. How many of you know that that's possible? I've always said this. I am not someone who will encourage adultery. Because of my faith, I would not encourage adultery. But do you know, I'm always very careful to condemn anyone that is caught in the act of adultery. I'm always careful to judge. You know why? I have seen so many things in this life that brings me to certain conclusions. And this is my word that I say every time. Don't blame people for their actions when you don't know their reasons. I'll take that again. Don't blame people for their actions when you don't know their reasons. Adultery is not a good thing. As a matter of fact, every tenet of faith, whether Christian or Islam, condemns it. But believe me honestly, take your mind off religion. Don't be open-minded here. Believe me honestly that there are so many people, man, woman, who inevitably find themselves in adultery, not because they want to. They just became emotionally vulnerable at the time. As an adult that have needs, sometimes in the quest of, you can be married and be lonely. They are married, they are in the husband's house, they have a wife at home, but they are lonely in the quest of finding somebody to talk to. Finding somebody to share with. They are going through a lot, and in fact, sometimes it just eases your stress when you just pour out your mind to somebody. And in the world of today, in the world of social media today, in the world of today where you cannot trust anybody, it's almost difficult, if not impossible, to find somebody that you can feel comfortable to pour out your heart to. For some reason, the whole foolishness of women supporting women is a scam. Because women don't feel comfortable pouring their heart to women. A woman who is suffering neglect and loneliness in her marriage, and it feels so lonely, like she's dropped in the middle of the ocean, and he just at home all the time, and he's not spending it with the man that she fell in love with. Begin to just get herself busy with maybe social media. Before you know it, somebody chat her up and she begins to get busy. Just to, what do you Facebook broadcast people used to call it? Just to cash cruise. Till they will cruise her away. And she just begins to, or have one co-worker who just gave her a bit of attention. I will give you an example. I give you so many examples of people that have come in contact. People who saw, watch a couple of our shows, they will call. I just, of course, for confidentiality's sake, I will protect that. I don't mention names. Sometimes 1 or 2 times I've got into trouble and somebody say, "Oh, it's my story." You are seeing example. If I did not mention your name, it's not your story. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Behave yourself. And I've heard from people who say, "I'm telling you this story so that you can use it to tell, on your show, to tell others and all of that." Somebody, one co-worker, one friend, somewhere, one old friend that they have forgotten, just give her that care, a little pinch of attention that she's been craving for at home. Craving for at home. She begins to get it by somebody that is nominal, somebody that she should have not have an intense talk, but because she's lonely. She could have probably not be having 5 minutes talk with this person. Now she's having 2 hours conversation with this person because she's lonely. We are human beings. We have needs. No man is created to be in isolation. Especially abroad people. You are 6,000 miles away from all your family and friends. If you call, and sometimes you don't want to wash your dirty linen outside. So you don't want to share with friends and family that are close. You don't want even people back home to know what is going on in your marriage. Just have one acquaintance, one old friend, one friend you meet online, one this thing. Somebody just inbox you. Normally you will not even answer inbox, but now she just begin to respond. Pada jabo. Is that a caller? Hello?
Okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay, she was online.
Yes, please. All right, thank you.
All right.
Hello? They gave a little bit of attention, a little bit of care, and before you know it, because we are emotional animals, because we have needs, she would drop into it. Maybe the first one was because she was vulnerable, she didn't see it coming. She lose her mind. Bam, he off pants. Unfortunately, that first one was good. If the first one was a hit, even though she know that what she did was bad, but because she's lonely and afraid in her marriage, she'll go back. Or maybe he's a man. He's the man that is even worse. one with the secretary, one Agbako girl. In fact, it is the man that is worse because there's tons of leopard and lion and wolf women outside who are just waiting for one careless woman to use her husband to do tafala. They are just waiting. One man just act like he has too much time and he just give attention to them. Yeesh. I don't say about it. And before you know it, infidelity becomes added to the problem of the marriage. Infidelity becomes part of the problem. It wasn't the problem before. And so many men will begin to accuse their wife. Don't check baby. Don't pay. Don't take it. No, that was not where the problem starts. The problem started from you failing in your obligation as a man to give the right affection and attention to this woman. You pushed her to the wall. She felt lonely and afraid. Unfortunately, she began to resolve in finding solace elsewhere. So now you are judging her for the consequences of your own action. So now you are castigating her based on the reaction, but the action is left unattended. Action begat reaction. Action begat reaction. Action begat reaction. For me, it is you that think they are scammers. But there are women who are actually they are in tests of somebody to just hold them. So even though they know that the guy is not genuine, he doesn't love them, they don't even need the guy to love them. They just want to be fucked. Big Lord, you don't understand. Permit my language. But that's the best I can tell you. They just want to be nagged. They don't need, it's not as if they are finding love. They are not ready to leave their husband's house. You don't understand. They are not ready to leave their husband's house. They just want to be nagged. You just want one man to hold the door and open door for them, treat them well. So when last have they did anybody take them to lunch? They just, you don't know how much a married man will cherish that you just buy a box of chocolate to her for her at work. You just coming to work, or maybe somebody gave you too much chocolate at home. You just pick one and just go and give it to your co-worker, and she'll be like, oh. That chocolate will just make her wait for no reason. It's not the chocolate. It's because when was the last time that a man, see, there's a way he has a ripple effect on a woman for her to just feel like somebody gave her that attention. Just that attention. I will give you this example. I was speaking with a lady and she was telling me her own experience. She's married with kids, like a functional marriage here in America. The husband started becoming, these men that feel like it was America, so therefore you can monopolize a life. If you need a maid, hire one. If you need a slave, go back to the 16th centuries. You will use your own hand with all the woman that is in America. You will go to Nigeria. You will go and pick one girl because you think she's naive that you'll be able to control her. You will bring her to abroad. You will be sending her to school. They will be thinking they are sending you to nursing school so that they can use you. Now, that same woman that you sent to nursing school, now why not the professional? And she's acting like one, and then you have a problem with it. You now want to sanction what she do with her own money. You want to sanction how she do. Some of them will even bring wife abroad. They will make sure that wife don't even know bus routes. They will make sure that she stay at home and she don't know jack shit. Just because of their own freaking insecurity. I was speaking to a woman recently. She don't even she don't know the next 3 bus stop to her house. She don't know the next 3 bus stop because they don't let her do. Every time they have to go, it is the husband taking her to a particular place and back, and they don't even go out like that. And she's been in the country for years. In the name of Ibimu, America, Mulofe, Latin Nigeria, you want to monopolize her. Thunder will fire you. If you want to sing somebody's daughter's destiny, they will think that I want to go abroad, to show you, or they hold you, Danny. You held on to her destiny for no reason. So I think that was the circumstance with this lady's marriage. She just can't do anything by herself, and the husband begin to, sabotage her life, and it becomes a problem. Not only that, she's pretty young, way younger than the husband. So maybe because of that, maybe the husband has certain medical condition. Somewhere along in the middle of this unhappy, boring marriage, the man's engine began to malfunction and it wasn't functioning very well. Or maybe the man is, see, let me tell women this. You know that 80% of sexual performance of a man has to do with how much he's interested in you. Do you know that? So that is say, that same man that is 2 minutes to you, that same man is 25 minutes to another girl. 80% of the performance level is not about how the thing is working. It's about how he's interested in you, how he's attracted to you. A man can be 2 minutes here and be 20 minutes somewhere else. So don't think that he has problem. You are buying a book for him. No, he has fallen out of love with you. Some married women are here listening to me. It's not age. But how old is your husband that you're thinking he's getting you? That's why he's not performing. No be age. When you married him, he wasn't even young as I then come. He's not even that young. You know how your husband used to spin you to the ground and take all the life out of you, shift your womb. Even you have called his family before to report him. That same man today, Monday to Friday, is forming busy. Saturday night that he's supposed to deliver. Is it telling you, James Sunday, you will have to force him to do, and if you don't share your combine, Baba man, it's not what they do. And it's not work. He has fallen out of love with you. We will get there now. One of the signs to know when you are falling out of love. That's the next thing we're talking about. We will get there, don't worry. Let me not skip the post. So for some reason, why the crisis was going on in this marriage, the man's sexual performance begin to drop. He will be uninterested. And then by the time she has to force him to bed, it will just be not a fantastic show. And the woman begin to look like, at what age? She ain't gonna move Joko till while she was still, managing the 2 minutes noodle, 2 minutes noodle that she will only eat maybe once a week or once in 2 weeks. And it's feeling that, the man have some diagnosis, the man is of age. They're about 20 years apart. The man is old and that's why the machine is not working. And she didn't like it, but what would she do? She was enjoying the 2 minutes. And the marriage was still continuing. Only to find out that this same Indomie man, this same man have like 3 girlfriends in town. And in fact, spending a hell of now. One of the problems is that the man is not financially committed again. On the day she started working, he didn't want her to work. The woman fight her way to work, and immediately she started working, the man stopped committing, to financial responsibility in the house. He just won't want to do anything. Bring money for this? Nope. Bring money for this? Nope. It's a bullshit. Now he now finds out how much this man is spending outside for side chick. And one day, I think he was supposed to go to work. Then she's supposed to go to work, and then something happened, and then she came back from work pretty early. She came back from work and she was home. I don't know how she entered the house so quietly. The husband worked nights and is sleeping at home. She came back home and she was in one of the rooms. The husband did not know that somebody entered the house. By the time he woke up, he was in the living room feeling that he's alone at home and was having a phone conversation with his phone on speaker and was calling one of the girlfriend and making appointments to go and hit that shit, And in their conversation, they were talking. And they were talking about how the last time went. And the girl was saying, man, if it by me, how much man serve for me last. For the sake of those of you who don't understand your word, that means the girl was saying a manner of complimentary words about how, man, this guy is a killer, man. Man, the last time I almost lose my breath. My safuni. And the wife was in the room, spare room, listening to this conversation. She don't know whether she should pop out or she should remain there. At this point, when she was talking to me, she was not mad because the husband was cheating. She was mad because to her, so you have all these skills. Why are you not using it on me? Now, one of the problems in their sexual life is that the man said he cannot lap it, that they forbid it in their village. Sani Jishaman, he said, no, you will not see any Jishaman that lap plates, that he cannot lap it. In the conversation with the side chick, when he was making the call, the girl was complaining, Emma many means Steffi la me, then la yati. And the wife said, hell, so you are sucking somebody outside. And in how many years of marriage with 2 children, you have never, you have never lasted me. What a mess. She wasn't pissed off. When I was having this conversation with her, I'm saying it now, it's funny. I'm not going to lie, everything makes me laugh. So I was laughing on this hand. But you need to see how this woman was weeping profusely. She was weeping profusely. Not because the husband was cheating, but because she finds out that this husband was doing this much outside. So you have all this strength, you have all this skill. For some reason, honestly, this is where that really got me worked out when I was having this conversation. She's not even where she was. They never speak. Baba so let's leave the name. She be on lack ní obìnrin mi. Kò lá mi rí Brother Victor. Ó máa sọ pé òun ò lè láìdí. Kò lá mi rí. Kò lá mi. And I was like, lílá ìdún yẹn gan. Ó ga o. Sọ̀rọ̀ lílá yẹn. As much as I want to be in her shoe, the way she was emphasizing the lila was, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ó tọ̀ṣì àti ẹ̀gùn like ó dùn ún. As funny as that sounds, that's not where the story ends. I encouraged her. And I'm like, well, I have a conversation with him, this, that. And one day she called me with a bloated face. And I said, ma'am, I've been telling you to work things out, help him. In fact, I was the one who helped out that some Magbo from Nigeria at one time. I remember very well. I was having some shipment coming and she said she wanted to, and once some apps were part of it. And he said that she called me about that time. And I was like, he said, I may not need the movie for coming. This is how much she was interested in helping this guy out before she found out that way Baba Niski be will. So when she called me one time and she sent me a picture of a bloated face and all of that, I said, well, ma'am, I've been talking to you about working things out with your husband and doing all it takes. I said, but as a matter of principle, once I see an incident of abuse or physical aggression, especially in any marriage, I feel guilty to advise you to work it out. In fact, I will not even recommend that even if you apologize, you should stay. Walk away. I say, I beg you in the name of God. You are already, as at that then, she's already tested. She already have diagnosis of high blood pressure. She's already using medication on high blood pressure. She's already, like, I said, your health is already being tampered with. At this point that it now the liver to begin to hit you, walk the hell away. But it's easier said than done. She didn't walk away as at then. One day, she called me and she said, mo mọ̀ pé máa judge me. Mo mọ̀ pé nǹkan tí mo ṣe ò dáa. I said, what happened? She said she had a confession. I don't know why some of you think I'm a pastor. Mo be there to get ideology. Mo get on you. Mo there do most of you know. I don't know where you get that nonsense from. I'm a person that have the fear of God and I do as much as possible to be pleasing to God. But man for my fear I will show me any problem. So she said she had a confession and I was like, okay, what is it? Go ahead. And she said that she made a hair. She had this hairdo. On the weekend, she went to the salon and go get her hair done. She came back home. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Thursday, the husband looked at her and she said, ó ti ṣe ó ti lọ ṣerun ẹni. Ó ga, owó ti pọ̀ jù, ẹ ti lọ ṣerun lénìí. On Thursday. She made the hair on the Saturday. It was the following Thursday that the husband noticed that her hairstyle has changed and they sleep on the same bed. That was Thursday night. Thursday afternoon, she was at work. She was at work. She said while she was walking into a unit, she worked in a hospital. She's a nurse. While she was walking into her own unit, there's this male nurse who was walking out of the unit. You know, she's afternoon shift. She's clocking in. The dude is clocking out. Was clocking out. And they met by the door. And you know how hospital door is. Most of hospital door, you open with your badge. So she swiped her badge, the door opens. So both of them met at the door. The guy was walking out, he was walking out, and they exchanged pleasantries. That was that Thursday afternoon. And the guy said, "Wow, your hair looks so beautiful." So you look so beautiful with your hair. This is her words, and I'm not making it up. This was her words. This was what she said to me. She said, Mr. Victor, bọ̀bọ́ yẹn akátá ni. But bí mi ò ṣe wà attracted to akátá tó ṣe rí bí mo ṣe ń bọ̀ta tó sọ pé your hair looks so beautiful. Ó ní mo feel ẹnu pant mi Ọlọ́run mo wet. I swear in the name of God, that was what she said to me. It was a TMI for me. You know what they call TMI? Too much information. I was like, oh, shit. Well, let's skip that. That was her words. That the guy just looked her in the eyes and said, you look so beautiful. Just a guy stopped and said, you look so beautiful. She said she felt it down. And she went to work and finished work and got home at night. And it was that same night, after making hair on a Saturday, that the husband said, ó ti lọ ṣerun. And she told me, she said, Mr. Victor, I said to myself that day that I will fuck the shit out of that guy at work. She proposed in her mind. She said, tí bọ̀bọ́ ìbá fi lè like mi tó bá make advances sí mi, mi ò ní ìrọ̀lẹ́ méjì kí n tó bá sùn. Èṣù lágbára kò ní gbàlà. She went to work, she see the guy every day, and the guy didn't say shit. The guy never asked her out, never invited her to nothing, never make advances. He just say hello. He's just a pleasant guy. I wouldn't know whether she must. She even tell me one time that she would intentionally work without her. But the guy wasn't looking at that direction. He just say, you know, there's some guy that are just sweet in the mouth. He just very pleasant guy, would make compliments and all of that. And for a very long time, she was nursing lustfulness towards this guy, just for always complimenting her. This is one thing, according to her, that the husband has not done in 4 years. 4 years. 4 years. This has never happened. That the husband will say, oh, you look good today. In 4 years. But the guy never said nothing to her. Say, look, the guy will lust. They say he will sit down, just keep looking the guy waist and look at the guy. Just keep looking towards his penis. My door boy don't come in. And one day they're having end of the year party in the work. So they brought snacks and all of that stuff. And the guy called at him and said, did you care for something? Say even if she doesn't like to eat that thing, as long as the guy that asked for it, I asked her about it, he just wants them to have a physical contact. Just touch me, just give me something. She just want. This is what she said. She said, mo kàn fẹ́ kọ́kùnrin kí ẹ fẹ́ mi náà. Ṣé gbogbo nǹkan tí mò ń ṣe fúnra mi ni. Ṣé màá lọ ra lace wig fúnra mi, màá lọ ra woman hair fúnra mi, mo ń ra designer watch, designer shoe. Bó ìjọba lọkùnrin máa kàn ra pencil tó máa rà pẹ̀ tó kàn máa fún mi. Ìjọba lọkùnrin kan máa tiẹ̀ ra pencil. Ṣé mo ń múnú ara mi dùn ṣe bọ̀ kò dàbí mo kàn fẹ́ kọ́kùnrin kan tiẹ̀ kí ẹ fẹ́ mi náà. Just to have somebody who just make me feel that I'm special. So the guy helped her to get some food and all of that stuff and brought it to her. So part of the end of the year package is that every staff will bring a gift for another staff. Of course, you know who she's going to package a gift for. You choose whoever staff you like at work and you bring them a gift. So the guy didn't bring any gifts. Not for her, not for anybody. But of course, you already know who she's going to bring a gift for. She bought a very fantastic gift. It was a wristwatch and present to this guy. And the guy felt some kind of way. But who there for me give to that guy? You know? And he did not bring her gift or bring anything. So the guy offered to take her for dinner after the party at work that day. Of course, he jumped on this shit. So they went on a dinner together. And the rest was story. To God be the glory. So many water passed through the bridge. Bí àánú ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ẹ gbà mí bọ́lé fún èyí tí ń dún. The woman is so naive that she feels very guilty that she's doing that. She feels very guilty. And she called me to give me 1 minute. Is that my door? How that? You know, neighbor me. Share my yard with it. They ended sleeping with each other, but she felt very guilty. Her conscience will not hold it. So she called me to speak about it. There's somewhere I want to pat her in the back. So I said, I can't tell you have done well, but I understand you, and I'm not going to judge you for it. I said, do as it pleases to you. And she said, no, she doesn't want to do it. That she feel that and I said, I understand you. Like I said, I am not okay in your action, but I understand you. I'm dealing with you now from the place of understanding. My spirit said I should check back about a month later. So I called her. How are you doing now? Are you fearing this, is that? And she told me, and she said she just left the guy's house. And I'm like, I thought you said the one time that you did is a sin that you will not do it again. He said, oh, mo gbádùn ẹ bọ́ yẹn ń ṣe dáadáa fún mi. Ẹ gbàgbé ń láyà ẹ wo tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní lá mi báyìí mo máa ń ké ni máa ké ni. Ó ní ẹ̀wọ̀ akátá ńlá ṣe. Mo ní màmá ẹ má wọlé má tún fún ẹṣẹ example bó ṣe lọ fún mi ò ní láti mọ̀ yẹn. That's too much information. And I said, well, don't tell me about it. Now, at this point, I felt like, well, it has become now an habit, a sustainable effort. I hold a responsibility to tell her the truth. So I said, well, at this point, I'm going to tell you the truth once and for all. You are not making any sense because your conscience is continue to prick you. You know what you are doing is wrong, but you are doing it anyway. This is the first bottom line in this story. It's not everybody that does wrong that is bad. Some people are doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. But you see, there is no reason that is good enough to be wrong. So I told her, I said, walk out of that marriage. I strongly encourage that. Instead of you fornicating, instead of you committing adultery, just walk away. She stepped out of that marriage and she settled down and she's happy ever after. End of story. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm calling from cheapinsurancerateonline.com. And the reason for...
she put herself together because she keeps saying, how is she going to move on from there? The first time I told her that she should just walk out of the marriage, the question she was asking me is, ibo ni mo ti fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ life mi? Ta ni mo fẹ́ fojú jọ? I don't know anybody in this country. I'm going to be lonely. Ṣé mo máa dágbé ní báyìí? Mi ò kọ́ life mi báyìí. Bí mo ṣe plan life mi kọ́ yìí. Mo máa di single mother. Mo máa di... Was all her exclamation with the first time. But later now that she's beginning to not that in lying gboro, I said, instead of you committing adultery and be committing a grievous sin to God, walk out of this marriage. Edo mama kuku ma fi yo ṣe, ma ṣe pẹ̀lú full chest here. I mean, that's my own philosophy though. Over the time, she put herself together. After a while, she bought a house by herself. She moved to it. She didn't rent. She bought a mortgage by herself and she moved to a new house with her children and she ended it. Why did I tell you this story? I remember this story and I shared it with you. Because, one, I need to establish that it is not everybody that you see that is doing something. You catch one woman, one married man with one man, you are judging her. That it meaning, but otherwise don't blame people for their actions when you don't know their reasons. Do not blame people for their actions when you don't know their reasons. Sometimes people do the wrong thing for the right reasons. Like I said, I'm not going to okay anybody, any woman committing adultery. But I'm not going to judge her in that circumstance. The best I could do is just tell her, walk away. Just walk away. She walked away, she dissolved the marriage. She worked out their mother days. And immediately she bought a house. And she moved, ended the marriage and moved with her children and settled down. The husband, in fact, she even traveled to Nigeria to go and beg her family back home to help him beg her. Till today, he's still begging. The same woman that you will not sleep with, the same woman that you will not want to have anything to do with, the same woman that you will intentionally go and pick up a night job because of her, the same woman that you will slap black and blue. Heinous things that she said to her that he said to her was horrible. Look at you. See how fat you are. Look at how fat you have become. On the Sunday morning, they dressed for that and they said the man looked at her and said, how would I show you? Show feel see. She ugly. She ugly. She don't be like she man lele. It's as bad as that. Like I can't count how many things my hair's head that the man has eaten. That same man is still begging till today. Bad things happen to good people. I remember one lady that was calling me. I was telling me about, how the whole marriage ended and the husband assaulted her and then eventually cheated on her and moved out of the house and moved with another lady. And the only thing she was telling me is this. Báwo ni irú nǹkan báyìí ṣe máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi? Mr. Victor, mi ò kì í ṣe obìnrin burúkú. Mi ò rìn ikú èrè láyé mi. Ọkọ mi ló dis flower mi. Ọkọ mi ló dis. And I was like, ṣé àǹtí ìgbádùn báyìí? Who deserve to be cheated on? Who deserve to have an abusive marriage? Who deserve to be I don't deserve to marry you fool. Who? No, which woman deserves to be in an abusive marriage? All she was saying to me is, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve this kind of a thing. Kò yẹ kó jẹ́ mi ní rẹ̀ máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. Kò yẹ kó jẹ́ mi ọkùnrin mi láyé mi rí. Mi ìrìn ìrànà rẹ̀. You don't have an idea of how many women have to put their back on the ground. Have to do what they really don't want to do. What is not in them to do. Because they lost love in their marriage. I always like to understand circumstances and situations than judging the actions. No doubt there are women who are just miserable by themselves, who will just do whatever the hell they want to do. Not because they are not satisfied at home, but because they are not because the husband is not doing well, but because they are not satisfied, they can't have enough. They want more. We're not talking about those. We're talking about those who actually are giving their all and they are getting nothing. I don't think any woman deserves to be treated with neglect and hatred and disrespect. I don't care how bad you tell me the woman is. I don't care how you think she's not a good woman. I don't think any woman deserves to be treated with such level of disdain and disrespect and disregard. Ditto to a man. When a woman begins to suffer assault and his ego is crushed upon, squeezed upon on daily basis, you are trying to get your man to do what you think you want him to do, and he did not do it, and you turn the house to hell. You turn the house to hell. Once discussion did not go in your direction, the man is in trouble. You have become a Margaret Thatcher in your own marriage because you always say yes to everything that you want. Anytime you say no, there is a problem. You will not only frustrate him, you will not only abuse him, you will not only harass him, you will even harass his family. You don't, Moju, Morabi, Olokola, you will have problem in your household. Oh, they need you, lekole, ni mana, ni discipline, ni decency enough that he even tells you that, okay, put your differences aside. When you have guests, his friends are around, his family are around right now. Put it around, let them go before you begin to continue your madness. You can't put your foolishness to a pause. At least for the sake of church members that are here, friends that are here, his family are here, his mother is here. You will still disgrace him in presence of the sea. Man can take disrespect if it's you and him. Man can easily take disrespect if it's just you and him. Once friends and family are involved, they are in the scene. They function differently. They function differently. So some of you, because you marry one guy that has the fear of God, you are beginning to stretch him beyond measure. Tó bá fa elastic tó ń fà á máa gùn, tó bá ń fà á máa gùn, tó bá fà tó stage kan yóò padà já mọ́ ẹ lọ́wọ́. Because you know his limits. You know he will never raise his hands at you. You will know he will never say some things to you. You know he's not going to deprive you of his obligation as a man. He will still make provision. So the thing is getting into your medulla oblongata. You are doing too much. And anytime this man, out of all your madness, so many women are telling me, bro, ọkọ mi mọ̀ tí n bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ọkọ mi dẹ̀ wọ́n bí dá òun fò ṣiṣẹ́ ayọ̀ wọ́n gbẹ̀ ń láàdì inú ẹ̀ ń dùn wọ́n gbẹ̀ ló lè ń gbọ́mọ ẹran jó Àwọn bọ́kọ mi kó mọ̀ kí tí n bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí wèrè lèmi. Èmo pẹ̀lẹ́ o, olúwèrè of Wèrèland. You are doing too much. So one time that this man want to put his feet on the ground to insist on what he believes in, the hell will let loose. Your next form of attack is to deprive him of sexual intimacy. In this generation of today, àwọn tó ń fọ́ ọkọ wọn Monday to Sunday, wọ́n sì ń gbọ́kọ wọn. Hey, because you think you have a God-fearing man that does not use ọkọ mi kẹ̀kẹ́ lọ́kọ mi mọ̀, that's why naive. Wọ́n máa kọ nǹkan tí ò mọ̀ yẹn, they will teach him. Because he will need somebody to confide in. So even if he talks to a guy and he begins to confide in a friend, they will introduce him to the girl that will give him comfort. Show blood pressure. Men don't need medication for high blood pressure. They need a good sex. Good one. I'm also shady bad. Come to think of it, you are not that good in the first place. Same time, don't you like your generation? Before you have one argument, he say, I give you my body. Oh, the four coming. Let him get where coming. Òun ló ti yọ tán bí ọmọ wọ̀nyí dẹ̀ ṣe gbogbo ṣe 1 point. Kí ló ń ṣe é? Any small argument, you have pull up the zip. My word jeans is on. You be sleeping in children's room. You know who are on this table the most? Pastor's wife. I'm not part of the table with you. Because you just know that your husband cannot do anyhow. All because you know that your husband cannot do anyhow. So you are the sheep of anyhow. You are doing anyhow. You are doing follow. You are doing follow. You are doing flow. A man will always find a safe haven in his home. A man wants to be treated like a king in his space. It's a question of time. He will lose the love. When the love is lost, the next question. I'm not opening a thought. This is going to be a whole month series, okay? I promise you I'm going to be here every Tuesday. I promise you. I will do everything possible not to miss it. And if I'm not going to be on the Tuesday and I have to reschedule for another day, I will give you a heads up on time. The next, leading question. Can a love lost be regained? Can a lost love be regained? If somebody has lost love, can he regain it back in any way? Do you believe that when people fall out of love, they can fall back in love? Do you believe that people can... Thank you. Cinderella Lomoije said, never with the same person. Okay. Why not settle the issue before giving sex? What's the point of having sex when angry with the person? Yeah, but don't use sex as a bait. Don't look what other assuming. Yes, settle the issue. You should settle your differences. But you know that there's what they call make-up sex, right? Sometimes it is the sex that will not make you talk. Now, when you are angry with the man, ideally, don't look. Let me say this to you, to every married person. I want to tell you this, and I want to beg you by the message of God. Forget whatever you have in your head. Listen to me. When you are married and you know you are still in love with your spouse, it's not as if you have lost love. Doesn't mean you will not fight. When you are angry with your spouse, what are you angry at is the question. Are you angry? Make sure your priorities are not missed. Are you angry at the situation or you are angry at the person? It is outrightly wrong and dangerous to be angry at the person you are in love with. In fact, the Bible says love, no wrong. Love cannot fault find. You can't be angry at a person that you are in love with. You should be angry at the situation, what has happened. Do you understand? So, if you're angry at the situation, you are not mad at the person. You still love him. You just don't like what happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, when it comes to intimacy, if he comes at night, you should not feel angry to sleep. You should not feel some kind of way to sleep. You will still sleep with him. You will still have orgasm. You don't understand. You will still, you understand? Because you see, sometimes you feel like, oh, I don't want to have sex with him because of what happened. You are wrong. Begin to question yourself if you are still in love. Something happened, you are angry. But hear me, love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not jealous or boastful. Love is not arrogant or irritable. Irritable. Those are elements of love. Love does not act on its own. Love bear all things, endure all things, believe all things. And then the last part of that phrase, of that scripture says, love hence not. I was talking to a lady, and it was saying, using some kind of tone to talk about my ex-wife. He was telling me that she said something about me and this, and I'm like, I don't care. First of all, she has moved on, she's married. If she's happy in her marriage, why would she be focused on me? Why would she be bothered about what I do with my life? I don't care. Women have a funny way of being spiteful. Don't think because we divorce, I will be interested in spiting her. No. So I'm like, I don't care. And then another time he bring up and I said, can you please stop talking about her? Especially with this tone. And I don't appreciate it. Any of you who have been following me long enough, remember last year, Mother's Day, I posted a picture and I celebrated her. How many of you remember? On her birthday, I posted a picture and I celebrated her. And then this person, not only her, a couple of people did. And then they come to me and say, you still love her. You still love your ex-wife. And then this particular nuisance said, you are still stuck up with her. That's why you did not move. That's why you are finding it difficult to move on with another person. You still love her. What response does she expect from me? To say, no, love Bawu, love Larry. I've moved on and she's married. No. She said, you still love her? And I said, yeah, I do. It is marriage that is not working. What is called love, don't die. There's no way. She was already with another man, and I know, I've met the guy a couple of times. Their wedding was like maybe 2 months ahead. But the guy is out of state. She was driving and she got into an accident. She got into an accident. She did not call the husband. She called me. I have people here who are witnesses. They know what I did. I was at work. I rushed out to quickly call her. You say, okay, call your job, tell them you this, that. By the grace of God, I have 2 cars. They said the car was total. I said, and I was supposed to travel that weekend. I was driving the Nissan then, but I just bought another car. I just bought my second car. It was still like new, sparkling, clean Mercedes. Wait, that is still shocking me. So I said, oh, I bought a new car. Come and carry my Nissan. I drove my old car there and I gave it to her to use. By the time I was traveling, maybe I've given her 1 car. By the time I was traveling, I was like, instead of me parking the car, doing nothing, I drove the Mercedes there and I said, take this one. This one is relatively new. Looking for any Mercedes because I think there was maybe something that I didn't feel comfortable with in the Nissan. I don't want her to drive. So I said, well, take the Mercedes. She was the one who said, I don't know how to drive it. You know how Mercedes is a little bit different from every other car. She said, I don't know how to drive Mercedes. She got into the car, she tried to drive, she said, and she gave it back to me. That was the only reason why I didn't live with her. I have met the guy. It's not a rumor. I've been to the place to see the kids and the guy will be on the bed chilling. I posted that on Mother's Day. I greeted her on her birthday. People say, you still love her. He said, it's like you are still in love with your ex. And I said, yes, I am. I do love her. Any question? Get out of my face, man. I only have 2 children in my entire life. And I had these 2 children with this same woman. I don't have anyone yet. I don't have any children outside these children. I don't know when I will have another one. Maybe not. Maybe, depending on what God says. But as of today, I have 2 children that are in the custody of this woman. They say, nǹkan tó ṣe yẹn kò dáa, she will suffer, she will suffer. Má ìdúró yẹn, ó ṣe máa mọ̀ yàtọ̀ ní ládùúgbò nǹkan tó ṣe fún, she will suffer. And I said, in Jesus' name, she will not suffer. If she suffer, my children will suffer. You think I'm praying for her to be in an abusive marriage, and then the man will be beating her, slapping her in the face, and then my children will be watching that? No, that's not what I pray for. I don't want my children to be seeing such graphics. So somebody asked me a question. I've said so many things that they just feel like, you still care about that so much. And I'm not lying about that. I do. Because our wellness determines the wellness of my children. And I'm so big on how my children grow and what they see. When she got married, I was pissed off because she didn't tell me about it. And it's not as if she owed me that explanation. The only reason I was pissed off is that I would have loved I want to know who my children are going to live with. By the time we become the issue, when we called about it and I got the details of the guy. I run his background check top to bottom, just for me to know. I said, where are where are my children going to be sleeping? Where is their room? They have to make a video of the room where they are going to be sleeping. And once I was clear with that, that was the last time I've ever been in their business. I just want to know, who is this person? That's all I care to know. So they said, you care so much about her. And then they say, my Len, you doesn't know what she's missed, what she has lost. And I said, well, as much as you want to try to make me feel like a golden man, I take that compliment. I'm not going to take that out of me. But then, my prayer is that everything goes well with her. My prayer is that everything be well with her. Because if it is well with her, it will be well with my children. You think I want my children to now, she will not, something now happen in a marriage, she will now walk away, and then she will marry another person, and then something will happen there, and then she will, I don't want my children to experience that kind of things. I don't want them to picture that kind of things. Or I don't want them to be standing and they see one man beating their mother. I have a son that is going to be a father. That's not what I want him to see. That is not what I want him to see. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome. That's not what I want them to see. So I've said so many things that feels like I'm so emotionally connected to her. Because I've not moved. I've been divorced since 2019, and this is the problem my mother with me. I've not really had any relationship. I meet people, but like being in a relationship, I've not. Some people really don't think that is right, and then cocoing, But then, so I've said so many things that people feel like, you are still stuck up with your ex and this thing. So somebody pushed a little bit too hard one day, and she said, she like money, and she asked me a question. And she said, if by any reason she come back to beg you, will you forgive her? I said, I have longed to forgive her. I said, not only that, if she come back to beg me, before she even moved to New York to go and settle with her husband, when she told me she was moving, I called her to a lunch. We had a sit-down talk, and I apologized to her, even though I don't think I wronged her. I said, just in case you are holding any grief against me, I just want to apologize to you. I apologized to her very fervently. I said, so She don't need to come back one day and realize and beg me. Even me, I've begged her. So you say, oh no, but if she come back today and she says she's sorry for what she did, will you forgive her? I said, yes, I will. I have. It's not like I will. And then she pushed too hard. And then she goes, and then if she says she's sorry and she wants to come back, will you take her back? I said, now you're going too far. I said, I know I've said so many things that looks like I care for her. I love her, but not that much. And she said, why? And you're too careful. If she come back, no, because until they shaking come, you should take her back. And I'm like, Umbel. First of all, I'm not the same person I used to be when I was with her. The Bible says the path of a just man is like a shining light that shines brighter and brighter. I have invested more in my life and in myself that I think that I deserve a better woman. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. That is not to reduce her. That is one. So, number two, there are so many, tons of women all over the world who are just praying to have one good man in their life, and they have not gotten that privilege. One will now walk away, go, come back, out of one regret or the other, and will still, no, now wrong, could that. That's not fair to every other person who have not even enjoyed marriage before. So let somebody else try. This one I have tried. It did not work. There's no point trying again. Let me try something else. You understand? You can't eat okra and it run your stomach. So you say, maybe it's that day, my stomach wasn't good. Let me eat the okra again. Eat vegetable. Try something else. Let's not give other people privilege. I said number 3 reasons why that one cannot work is that my father used to tell me something. He says when certain things are bad, do everything to make sure that it didn't go bad. He said, but when some things in life, when they go bad, it can never be good. He said, one of those things is marriage. Once it go bad, he said it can never be good. He said, and I've lived with that philosophy long ago. I've lived with that philosophy long ago. So as much as I care for her, I don't look forward to her. It's not going to happen. Not in this life, not in the next life. Never. There's no point. It doesn't make any sense to me. So many people have had that same argument with me. But I want her to do well. I want her. I really wish and hope that our experience together, the good and the bad ones, will have the same way I see certain learning values and I begin to see I need to work on myself and be a better person. I hope that she sees that too and not let bitterness and prejudice clutter her face, and she can learn certain things and learn from her mistake and learn from her flaws and equip herself to become a better person so that in her next endeavor, in her next marriage, she will be a better version of her. And we can just all move on and take our life take our experiences as our faith and our learning curve to be a better person ultimately where we're going. And that's the essence of it. And that's the beauty of life. And that's where separation and divorce can be meaningful. If you are the same person you are in your pre-marriage, your next marriage, you are very mad. If all you keep saying is what the man did to you, why he did this, why he did that, to every broken marriage, there is a portion of blame to both parties. They might not be proportional. But search true and true. There are certain things that you did wrong. Don't let bitterness float your head. Equip yourself, build yourself, and move on. When love lost. So the question I was asking before telling you this story is people who have lost love. When love is lost, Can it be regained again? Somebody said yes. Somebody said no. I say no. Auntie Deborah Lonson, how are you? Your face show, your shoe shine. When love is lost, it can never, ever. In fact, it's unnecessary. I have seen so many people who went back to their exes, and trust me, they eat breakfast. In fact, your disaster will be greater than the first one. Ṣebí wọ́n ti break yá tiẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ni ó kàn fọ́ sí méjì. Go back to it. Wọ́n máa gbé sẹ́nu milling machine, wọ́n máa lọ àti ẹni. Àti ẹ̀ máa dàbí bọ́gà. Most times, the disaster is worse than the first one. Try something else. Because you see, when prejudice occurs in a relationship, so many things have been said and done, so many assaults, so many offenses, so many, even if you now apologize to each other and gbàgbé, you can forget what people do to you, but you can't forget how it makes you feel. Hear me. People will forget what you say to them. They will forget what you do to them. People might easily forgive what you say to them, but they will never forget how it makes them feel. That feeling will never be forgotten. Never ever. When love is lost, the possibility, the marriage can come back, but the love cannot be regained. Let's start afresh. Scam me. If it is shaky, yes, you can start afresh. If it is, but when it is lost, you don't feel jack with this man. He jump on you, it's as if you are being raped. That's what I'm saying. Now, I'm going to come to a conclusion. We're out of time. And we're going to continue from here. What are the elements, or what are the things, the signs for you to know that you have lost? I'm not saying you are angry at your partner or you have some things. There's no perfect marriage. Before you jump out, just know that where you are jumping to have his own inconsistencies too. So you understand? Uncle, Mr. Hitler, before you leave your wife and walk away, you come and join us searching. Wàá mọ̀ pé kò sí nǹkan gbogbo. Ṣé àwọn tó ń dájà ń gùn mọ́lẹ̀ náà? Ó máa ká lójú ẹ̀. Before you leave your wife, before you say she's this, she's bad, she's this, she's devil, she's Lucifer. Where you are going to say a better one, I don't know. Everybody, they manage in devil now. Choose your own devil and manage it. You understand? So, we're not talking about, perfect marriage. There's no such thing as perfect marriage. So we're not, so it's not like we're asking you, what we are saying here is about, if your marriage is not perfect. No, there's no perfect marriage. But are you in love? If it is just that some certain things are missing in your marriage, You can work it out, or you can just admit your faith. You're not going to have it all. And don't compare marriage with another person. No. You marry two different persons. Some things you will not have. There are some things that you have that person do not have. You will not have it all. Some people do have it all, but you might not be one of those lucky persons that will have it all. What are the signs and elements of when love is lost? So what we are talking about is not that see the marriage is not perfect or the marriage happened. It doesn't. I have seen so many crazy marriage that even you will say, why are these people married? They are so toxic, so annoying, so ridiculous. They are a problem to each other. Their marriage is problem over problem. But guess what? They are in love. So they are still together and the marriage is still working. You will just hear that they are two different persons. But guess what? They are in love. I don't care what is missing. I don't care how much differences you have. If you are still in love, the marriage will still, it will be easy to work things out. I want to in love, no, but to buy into love, you will fight in love. You will be pissed off. Everything you do is in love. You will talk to him in love. You can't. I don't care how angry you are. If you are in love with a man, you will still talk to him with respect. But at what point? What are the things to look out for? Because so many people, some of you are listening to me now that you have lost love. The next thing you are doing now is that you are fulfilling marital obligation. Because you marry in church, you cannot divorce. Or you are a man, you are a pastor. You know that Kinekachigbo is making you remain in the marriage. Or there are some of you who you are stuck in that marriage. You've gone so far, you don't even know where to pick the pieces of your life from. Timba feel you've given your all. You've let go of everything. You've lost everything for you to be in this marriage. And this marriage that you gave up, or in fact, you gave up your family, you gave up your career, you gave up everything. You don't even have a relationship with your people again. You are far away from home. And this man begins to treat you like a piece of shit. So, and now you are just like thrown in the ocean between the devil and the deep blue sea. And the only reason why you are still there, you have lost the love. But you are drowning in the mystery of, what do I do? Where do I go? I don't know what to do. Where do I start from? That's the reason why you are still there. How do you know that love is lost? What are the symptoms? What are the signs of the relationship that has lost the savor of love? What are the signs that shows you, that tells you? Once you see these following things, just know that you are either lost love in your marriage, or you are about to lose it. I will see you on Saturday. Please follow this page, like, share. Be gracious enough to go to the upper part of this, the lag of this page, and click the share button and click invite. You can invite your friends to follow and like us. Be gracious enough to, in all of our programs, to send us stars and bubbles. This is how we thrive and we improve the quality of our productions and help, sort out our monthly recurrence and bills for our multi-streaming platforms. And we promise to keep growing. Thank you very much for always being there. I'll see you on Saturday. Thank you. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Ah, thank you, Jesus.
Milliax on the beat.